Ile-Ife, variously dubbed the land of expansion, the cradle of the Yoruba race, and home of civilization. Shortly after the demise of OONI Adeyeye Olubuse II in July, the search for his successor began, with members of the four ruling houses jostling to present a credible candidate. The kingmakers soon made a pronouncement, and the OONI stool was zoned to the Giesi ruling house in line with the Ife Chieftaincy Declaration of 1980. This decision led to a battle of wits, and the aggrieved parties headed for the courts. In the end, the Giesi family emerged victorious, and 21 eligible sons of Giesi descent contested for the revered stool. The Ifa Oracle picked 41-year-old Prince Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, and immediately Ile-Ife, and indeed the Yoruba race, rose to prepare to receive him. On Monday, December the 6th, Ile-Ife came alive, ready for the pomp and circumstance that would go with the official presentation of the staff of office to the new OONI. The ancient city center was ready for the carnival. Yoruba sons and daughters from across the world, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, royal fathers including the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Sa'ad Abubakar III, national leader of the All Progressives Congress Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, governors of Osun, Ogun, Lagos, Oyo, and other prominent Nigerians were on hand to watch this young real estate magnate and successful entrepreneur mount the throne of his forefathers. Even the aged were not left out. They defied all odds to pay obeisance to the OONI. His Imperial Majesty OONI Adeyeye Enitàn Ogunwusi II made a triumphal entry into the auditorium, where a throng of eminent guests from across the world was already waiting. He was greeted to a rousing welcome, and an outpouring of goodwill messages followed. First, from Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who called him a noble son.
You are an Omoluabi, a noble son of a noble people.
And then, the Sultan of Sokoto, who spoke on behalf of all royal fathers present.
We will also offer our support to our brother, the new and the 51st OONI of Ife. To the glory of God and continued peace, progress, prosperity and happiness of Ile-Ife and the state of Osun. Thank you.
Governor Rauf Aregbesola presented the staff of office to the OONI and urged him to unify and bring harmony to his domain without coercion, but with inclusiveness. He also wants him to be an impartial father of all. This is not the first time Ile-Ife would have a classy and sophisticated monarch, but Oba Adeyeye's choice is a fulfillment of his prophetic birth.
I've always been very peculiar in the things that I do. I do things out of the ordinary.
He is a fourth-generation descendant of OONI Ojaja or Rashigba of Agbedegbede quarters, and his parents had known of his celestially sanctioned greatness since he was born.
Our Creator doesn't start something that He will not finish completely. Our God is a complete God.
A tested entrepreneur by every means, known to be daring, selfless, and fearless, OONI Adeyeye Enitàn is unarguably a true 21st century monarch who's bringing grace, elegance, style, and depth of intellect to Yoruba race's most prized throne.
We in diaspora, we don't forget the source. There, you who are here, you must be happy to have a young man to be to be a new king.
Anybody that does anything against your king, protect your king. Be there with him. Guide him. Love him. Respect his words. God has given him to you. So if you run away from your king, you're running away from God.
OONI Adeyeye Ogunwusi is the 51st OONI of Ile-Ife and custodian of the Yoruba indigenous tradition.
I'm starting a new life. This has always been my saying in life. Power of imagination. That's my mantra. I say it a lot. I imagine things a lot. And I bring it to reality and I go for it.
Before the presentation of the staff of office, Oba Ogunwusi had been in seclusion for about 21 days, after which the kingmakers handed him the sacred Ari crown, first worn by Oduduwa. OONI Enitan Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ojaja II wants to boost tourism, stimulate business and employment, and help chart a new course for Ile-Ife, socially, economically, and traditionally.
I have a deal with God that if I'm going to the throne just to serve myself and my immediate family, God should not make it happen. But if truly I am going to get, because it was keenly contested, like you said, if truly it will happen, then that means my prayer has been answered. Give me a place to stand and I'll move the world.
If his vision for Ile-Ife is anything to go by, the OONI, a man schooled in nobility, should live up to promise as a virtuous king and a blessing to his people. We at TVC News wish Kabiyesi OONI Orisha a long reign on the throne of his fathers and say, long may the king reign. Adetunji Adeteye, TVC News, Ile-Ife, Osun State.